Hi guys. So someone posed a question to me on religious belief, religious doctrine, um, and we as human beings, what are we? How do I see myself in particular? And it's a very complex question because um, there's no really true or rigid carved in stone answer. But from my perspective, um, I have a master's degree in organizational psychology and development, and I did my bachelor's in English literature. Now, with the psychology and part, organizational psychology, I learned about psychology and building businesses. But the psychological part, the psychology part of that degree, is very important to these particular questions to me. For instance, for me, I see myself as being a spiritual being. I've always seen myself that way. And my mind is like a computer that processes the information that my hands and my body, the senses, send back to my brain. So, me, the spiritual being, can experience what's going on within this realm or this dimension. And the reason I say it that way is that, you know, I have a hobby, quantum physics. I like reading and studying about. Now, the math is completely beyond me, but the concepts, when they dumb it down, make sense to me in some of the findings. For instance, electrons can be in multiple places. One electron can be in several places at once, making it omniscient, kind of like godlike. And depending on how it's observed, it can traveling from point A to point B. It can reverse. It seemingly has the ability to reverse time and redo what it was doing in a different way, change its behavior. Um, so to me, we're looking at that information, even though it's still in its infancy, suggests the ability to control time. Now, Einstein looked at it as he says a spooky occurrence because he didn't have an answer for it. But modern science have been evolving since Einstein, and it still has some ways to go. So that's where with the quantum physics, when asked, do I believe in God? I say yes. Now, some people are atheists, and that's fine. They say no, and some people are kind of unsure, and or some people, and some people go more to the religious side of yes. For me, when I say yes that I believe in God, is because I believe I'm a spiritual being, and I'm assuming, this is only an assumption, that since I exist as a spiritual being within this body, there must be other spiritual beings out there within I think the 11 dimensions based on a mathematical theory. It's a theory within quantum physics. There's several dimensions parallel to this one that we're in. And it might be a possibility that ethereal beings can travel between the dimensions or realms. And there's a lot of cultures out there that suggest that to be true. The Dogon tribe, who knew about Sirius A and Sirius B star constellation before telescopes and stuff were around, knew where it was. Suggested that 8 men were taken away from the colony by ethereal beings, and they were taught the sciences and things like that. And of course, the Egyptians were given hieroglyphics as a gift. And if you look at the science of the Egyptian pyramids and some of the feats that they were able to develop, the structures are like perfectly straight, perfectly aligned. The building blocks are perfectly cut, within a millimeter, not even a centimeter, a millimeter of precision 5,000 years ago, it can be argued that they developed it on their own, or it was passed to them from a sanctioned a being, alien, or or the gods that created us, if you want to look at it that way. Now, my belief in God is a little more, I guess, subdued as far from a religious point of view. For instance, if I face an obstacle, I say, I just lose, I give it up. I say, well, I leave it in God's hands. I'm really basically taking a step back, stop giving a damn about that situation. And then when I revisit it, I'm looking at it from a different viewpoint, or with fresh eyes, or with a different mindset. And that's what, for me, giving it up to God means. As far as the existence of a literal God, I don't know. And it's not really for me to know. We can believe such things, and if it helps keep a balance of the five healths, then by all means believe. If you know, by all means know. Because all of it, the mental belief system, all that part is part of emotional health. You got your physical health, spiritual health, social health. They're all very, very, very important. And when you can strike that balance within those healths, you have a better quality of life on earth. The afterlife, I'll address that when I get there. But for now, that's what I believe. If you have any more specific questions, ask it in the comment section below. If you like the video, like it. But just to recap, I believe I am a spiritual being living in this physical body, or that was designed for me to experience this world through my senses of this body. That's processed by my brain, and it's relayed back to me. I can go into other weirder things, but that's for a completely different topic for the future. As far as God's existence, I would say yes. It's hard to believe that we are all there is in the universe. Based on the science out there, it's hard to believe, it's hard to contradict that the dimensions may or may not exist, because the numbers don't really lie. It could be fancy math, but based on my understanding of science over the centuries, they seem to always be proven right. In some cases, haven't been proven at all yet, because we haven't the technology to do so. But so far, they seem to be on point. And again, science is not there to disapprove or prove God. It's man, it's us, who to interpret science and religious faith doctrine to bend it to whatever we believe in. As far as religion goes, I do not trust organized religion. They do serve a purpose in the community, but for the most part, that's it's like a leftover from the Stone Age or the bygone years. They're not as effective as they used to be, and frankly, most of the sin and crime and disparities come out of the church, in my opinion. So, you guys have a good day.